All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the testing night of Phatts TV. We're here to test to make sure everything is working okay. The official launch is Wednesday night. We were going to be talking about the NCAA tournament, but we won't be now. So tonight we're testing and we're going to be following the Democratic presidential debate. What fun this is going to be. What kind of train wreck it's going to be with Sleepy Joe and Grandpa Bernie. So, it's supposed to start in about 1 minute and 5 seconds from now. So, basically, let me run down quickly what this channel is going to be. This channel is going to be whatever I want it to be. I'm going to comment on whatever I want, say whatever I want, do whatever I want in a funny yet wacky, controversial, silly way. I used to have a nickname for myself years and years ago. I used to be uniquely dormanted. That kind of is going to fit here tonight and going forward. So sit back, relax. We're going to test this for maybe 40 minutes, maybe a little bit less, unless if this is a wham bang, exciting, not very yawning debate. And I might get a little agitated listening to this. So, it's starting. It's on, everybody's favorite network, CNN, the Clinton News Network. First thing I want to see is, do they have flag pins on? Because there's certainly no flag on the stage. Of course. Well, they do have pins. Let's see what they are when they zoom in. Hopefully they're American pins. Hopefully you would think that they're pro-American, although I'm not quite sure about Bernie. He's more pro-Cuba. But, of all honesty, I would like to see Bernie win the Democratic nomination because I think it's very important that this country has the conversation of capitalism versus socialism. Don't know who any of these people are who are moderating the debate. Since I don't watch this garbage network. It appears that the moderators are in a completely different studio than the candidates. Interesting. Biden has an American pin on. Don't know yet about Bernie. That does not look like an American pin. It's probably his Union of Soviet Socialist Republic pin from, the 60s. Of course, they have CNN mugs to drink their gin out of. For those of you that don't know or who don't follow politics, Joe ran in 1988 for the Democratic nomination, and he had to drop out because all of his lies were exposed. Funny, you don't hear many of those lies coming from the media nowadays. So he's being asked a question about shutting down businesses with 50 or more people. I will say I like his tie. He's inviting us to go to joebiden.com. He wants drive-through testing, similar to how you can get your Big Mac. It's not a bad idea. South Korea, I believe, is doing that. So he wants the government to come in and do some type of economic package. I believe that's what happened yesterday in the House vote. By the way, 40 Republicans did vote no for that bill, and I say bravo to those 40. Why? Because they didn't get a chance to read the bill. They had about a half an hour between the time it was brought to the floor and the time they voted. Not sure why the Senate won't be voting on the bill till at minimum tomorrow. They could have voted on the bill tonight. Would have given them a lot of time to go through it and read it. It was only 111 pages, but you can't read that in a half an hour. That's for sure, unless you're a speed reader. I'm not. It would take me about 16 hours to read that many pages. And of course, Commie Bernie's talking about Trump blabbering. I don't like his tie. That's straight out of the 60s. By the way, the chat room is open if you would like to comment on anything. Just to show that I really don't care what's going on with the virus. I had Chinese for dinner. It was really good. And of course, Grandpa Bernie talks about we should have Medicare for all to cover all this. Medicare for all. What's going on in Italy right now with their Medicare for all? Yep. Basically, doctors are not taking care of the old. They're just going to leave them there to die. Lack of medical personnel, he says. Well, you could thank Obamacare for that. No money in it. We are a capitalist society. I will say, capitalism is great. Corporatism is bad. They need to get corporations out of the capitalism. Joe looks like he's ready to cry. Yes, it did. Bureaucratic red tape did hamper this. This is what the Democrats do. They love big, big government. So he says that our medical system, he agrees with Bernie, can't handle the surge that's ready to come. So let's go back to mid-January when this was first breaking across Wuhan, China. What did the president do? He basically said he's not allowing people to travel into this country from China. And what did the Democrats do? They accused him of being a racist. You know, whatever Trump does, he's accused of being a racist. If he eats vanilla ice cream, he's going to be accused of being a racist. Racist against chocolate and strawberry because he's eating vanilla. That's just what the Democratic Party does. Racist, racist, racist. I'm white, so I'm racist. Yeah, Democratic Party. Is that Jake Trapper John MD, whatever the hell his name is? He's another loony that's on Twitter. Oh my God, I follow him on Twitter. It's like every 3 minutes he posts something bad about Trump. He definitely, if you want to talk about someone who has Trump derangement syndrome, it's good old Jake. That's possible. Possible, Daryl. Probably should get him a test. I mean, he's old, he's frail, he's 78 or something like that. He probably should be tested. My guess is, by the way, that he's looking to have Hillary run as his Veep, which then he'd have to, watch his back every moment of the day, which is probably the plan anyway, because that's about the only way she's ever going to become president. Don't worry about the cost of healthcare that you're going to get. That's what Bernie says. No, you don't have to worry about the cost of the healthcare that you're going to get with Bernie's plan. You got to worry about how much tax you're going to have to pay for people to have that healthcare, and you have to worry about when you get to their age whether you're going to be allowed to be, you know, get medicine. God forbid you need, you're like 68 and need, a new knee. Forget that. Might as well put you in the grave. Ain't happening under socialized medicine. Biden's bringing back the days where he served with the first female president, Obama. First Lady Michelle. Joe's right. Single payer is not working in Italy. Joe's going to bring together the leading experts in the world. To do what? Keep you awake? Keep you... Hopefully there's no, teenagers there, because all he's going to do is sniff them and kiss them. And I don't know. Did you see the video where he bites his wife's fingers, for crying out loud? By the way, where's Tulsi Gabbard tonight? She's still in the race. Probably the only person. That reminds me, the Democratic Party, the party of inclusion, and we're looking at two old white guys. The party of inclusion. Maybe the inclusion is a guy that loves Lenin and a guy that loves to sniff little kids. Is that being inclusion? We're at war with the virus. I thought only the House of Representatives could declare war. Ah, yes. Nancy did her best. Crazy Nancy. Can you imagine Speaker of the House and the district looks like her district does? Oy vey. He offered legislation. Well, he is running for the Senate. I do believe he said that in a video about 2 weeks ago. So far, this debate is extremely boring. It was a lot better when they had 10 people on the stage, or 8 people, or 6. I want Tulsi there. How does universal health care mean that you're going to get the health care when you should? Doesn't make sense. Ugh. There's that horrible word, Obamacare. All right. So while they're talking about this junk, I'm going to turn over to my other computer and let's take a look where Dow futures are right now. They weren't looking very good. Well, last look, Dow futures were down about 4.6%. They were down 5% earlier, which is the max they could fall before the market opens tomorrow at 9:30. So it looks like it's going to be another raucous day. A little surprising to me that they're down as much as they are. The Fed cut interest rates down to somewhere between 0 and a quarter point tonight. So, pretty good time to refinance your mortgage. Pretty good time to, how about this? Take on some debt. Use that debt to buy into the stock market, because as soon as this crisis is over, stock market's going to go up, 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 up. So it's not a bad idea to take on a little bit of debt right now. Cheap debt, build a retirement. Take it from the accountant. We'll have to talk a little bit about that during the official launch on Wednesday. Don't panic. By the way, these are new microphones that I'm using tonight. Not the microphones you see me typically use when we do our PJBT telecasts. And so since the first time testing, I haven't been able to set the delay yet. So if the video is a little ahead of the sound or the sound is a little ahead of the video, I apologize. I will have that fixed for the launch on Wednesday. By the way, on Wednesday, the non-genetically proven son should be down here sitting to my right for the show, since he's off of school for the next minimum 3 weeks. Oh, the crisis. You see the other night now that the Chinese is blaming us for the start of this thing, and of course their friends on CNN and a little bit of MSNBC were right along with them, giving out the Chinese propaganda machine. Take care of the immediate needs. By the way, did you see that Mexico is considering closing its border with the United States to stop the inflow of the Wuhan virus? It's nice to see that the Mexicans are willing to do what the Democratic Party is not willing to do in closing the border. Mexico is more pro US than the Democratic Party is, for crying out loud. You didn't insist anything, Biden, when this first broke out. You didn't say a damn word about it. By the way, when the swine flu was around during the Biden-Obama administration, or as you said the other week, the Biden-Obama administration, took you guys 6 months to call for a national emergency. 6 months. How many people died? 15,000 or something like that? 6 months. Yeah, you were prepared, all right. Well, if it's up to you, Bernie, there is no time for profiteering. Socialism doesn't believe in profit. What the hell is seed corn? Sanders doesn't know what to say because he's a socialist. Oh, right back to healthcare. Ugh. He is clueless how to answer this question. By the way, the show on Wednesday is going to be a lot more fun. We're going to be talking about puberty. We're going to be talking about the retired toothless sex worker who lives in the skook. That's pretty important. We're going to tie that into Corona. We'll talk a little bit about sports. We'll talk a little bit about college. Probably a little bit about food. You know, I'm pretty good knowing about food. We'll think of other things to talk about. But I promise you, it'll be funny. It'll be controversial. It'll be Phatts-tacular. We need somebody to make this a little more exciting. Like, where's Andrew Yang? I mean, these guys have about as much emotion as what's his name did that just got his ass kicked by Elizabeth Warren in the last debate. How the hell are either of these idiots gonna debate against Trump? Jesus. He's talking about the same thing. No one's gonna get kicked out of their home. No one's gonna do this. No one's gonna do that. He still doesn't know how to answer this. Whoa. As a nation, we need to forcefully respond to this crisis. As forcefully as we can. Really. Don't. You know, I would love to talk about what this coronavirus is really all about. I suggest you take to Twitter and follow some QAnon accounts, and you can see what this really is all about. It's interesting when you lay the map over where the most of the cases are, at least throughout the United States and some parts of Europe. Where there's the abundance of the cases. It kind of fits in with the indictments of some kind of major thing that might involve somebody who may have faked their own suicide a few months back. Yeah. Yeah, something big's going on with that not many people know about. But if you're awake, you would know about it. QAnon. Follow it. When the paycheck comes due, you will get that paycheck. When the paycheck comes due, you will get that paycheck. For those of you that get laid off, I do believe on every paycheck, I pay something called FUTA, SUI, unemployment tax. Tax. This is a extremely snoozing debate. It's like Sleepy, Dopey, and Doc all together in one candidate, times two. All right, so I got all the information I need to go back and look at for all my testing. I'm going to go drink a Corona, hopefully not catch the virus. We will see you Wednesday night for the official launch of Phatts TV. Tell all your friends. Gonna have a lot of fun. Gonna be a nice little flag up behind me come Wednesday night. You can imagine what that's gonna say. All right, I have to go probably adjust some mics. We'll see you all Wednesday, guys. Thanks for joining.